In this video, I'm going to show you the 17 foods for high testosterone. If you don't know who I am, my name is Alex, and I help men master natural testosterone righteously. So let's get into it. So basically, when it comes to this video and these 17 foods, these foods are not magic. This is not something you start consuming and boom, you have high testosterone. These are nice tactics once you understand the fundamentals, which is proper caloric intake, proper macronutrient intake, making sure you're in the right body fat percentage, androgen receptor density, improving your metabolic rate, fixing your micronutrient deficiencies, training properly, sleep, your stress, lifestyle, righteousness, fundamentals. Once you understand all these things, eating these 17 foods will benefit you a lot because you understand where I'm coming from. When it comes to these 17 foods, those foods are the foods I personally consume. And I already see comments coming in, what about this food? What about that food? There is other foods that boost testosterone. But in this video, I'm just going to show you the foods I have experience with, the foods that I've personally used, and I know how to troubleshoot, and I know what type of results they have, and I know the ifs and no's about these specific foods, and I know the studies, and I've time tested these foods. So let's get into it. So for number one, we're going to have pomegranate. So daily pomegranate juice consumption for 2 weeks increased testosterone levels by 24%. So there's a study here, improved testosterone levels. And I made an in-depth video about this even more. So you can click the link right here. So when it comes to these Google document, I'm going to leave a link down below. So you can click the links. So with the video, you can check it out. I went in depth when it comes to studies, pomegranate, how to use it and things like that. So I'm not going to waste your time doing it on this video. So next, number two, we have onion. So onion has been very popular lately. I've made videos about it. A lot of people made videos about it. And I've made a video about it, like I mentioned, and there's a study showing it boosts testosterone levels by 300%. Like I said, if you click this link, I made a video about it as well. And you can check it out. But that being said, I started looking deeper into it. And one of the reasons why onion boosted testosterone levels is because it stopped the conversion of testosterone into DHT. So what do I mean by that? So if you're in my free community, which is free to join, you can just go to this website or go to fedursky.com community and just join the brotherhood. It's free to join. And basically the other day I made a post about DHT because a lot of people demonize DHT, right? But DHT, dihydrotestosterone, is more androgenic than testosterone, right? So does DHT cause prostate enlargement? Think again, there's a study shown a 10-fold increase in serum DHT levels had no significant effects on prostate size. Does DHT cause hair loss? Think again. There's a study with 350 male subjects. It was noted that high DHT levels were associated with a 35% reduced risk of hair loss. I had issues with hair loss if you've seen my videos showcasing how boosting my testosterone levels improved my hairline. So I would be careful with this. And this example is what you see with most testosterone boosters out there. When you look at it, just, oh, does it boost testosterone? Yes, but why does it boost testosterone? Oh, because it stops the conversion of testosterone DHT, which is actually worse, and things like that. So you always want to know the context of these things. Same with scripture. If you read the Bible, you read this, but you must understand the context. Okay? So then we have number three. So kiwi. Individuals who ate 2 kiwi fruits 1 hour before bed reduced the time before they fell asleep significantly and improved their sleep duration. So when you come to there's a study about this here. So men who sleep 8 hours per night have 200% more testosterone levels than men who sleep 4 hours per night. Other studies showcase that an extra hour of sleep boosts testosterone levels by 15%, which is amazing. Why is that? Because when you sleep during the REM cycles, you produce testosterone. The longer you sleep, the longer the REM cycles become. If you wake up in the middle of the night, it resets. So you need to make sure your sleep is 8 hours non-stop. Some individuals have issues with falling asleep. They have issues with waking up at night. They have issues with the quality of sleep, which I cover is very important. So Kiwi won't directly improve your testosterone levels, but it will improve a specific aspect of your journey, which does improve your testosterone levels. And not just testosterone. Sleep is super important for all aspects in your life. Number 4. So we have pineapple. So when it comes to pineapple, it's kind of very similar to the kiwi. It doesn't directly improve testosterone, but it can be used tactically. So when you look at this study, damage recovery across, okay? So when it comes to racing, right? So if you do endurance training, marathon running, MMA, martial arts, whatever it is, what this study showcased that consuming 1,000 milligrams per day of bromelain, which is an enzyme found in pineapple, maintained testosterone levels in times of stress. This is very powerful in today's day as many men experience stress. So consuming 1,000 milligrams per day of bromelain or consuming pineapple every day will maintain your testosterone levels. Then number 5, we have liver. So liver is packed with minerals and vitamins which boost testosterone levels, but especially vitamin A, which improves your hormonal health and testosterone. The one thing about vitamin A and liver, only consume it 1 to 2 times per week. You don't want to overconsume it, as vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. And the thing about fat-soluble vitamins, you're more prone to overdosing and then causing more damage. So the best thing you can do is check your do a mineral test, vitamin test, blood test. If you don't want to do that, consume it on a less frequency, because there was studies, I'm not sure if it's studies or stories, of how men ate a polar bear's liver and overdosed in it and died because they were starving, whatever it is. So be careful with vitamin A. I've heard stories, guys who wanted to do it themselves. They just read a book about testosterone. They're like, okay, I need this mineral. They start consuming it. Now they have neural damage. And this client is working with me now because we need to fix him, which we're accomplishing. So be careful with those things. Then we have number 6, which is oysters. Very similar to liver. It's very dense in minerals and vitamins, zinc, magnesium, which studies show improve testosterone levels. And same thing, be cautious of the consumption. The reason why I love oysters is it's high in zinc. Everybody knows, most people know anyway, that zinc is very important for testosterone production. And when you see testosterone guys out there, well, pretend to be that they know what they're talking about. Oh, eat my testosterone booster, whatever, supplement. But you know, as me coming from a point of view, I understand testosterone optimization. Okay, they have zinc in there, 30 milligrams, but they do not understand how zinc works. Every 10 milligrams of zinc you consume, you deplete 1 milligram of copper. So if you're listening here, and you're probably people watching me, oh, how can I, whatever. When you consume zinc, 10 milligrams, you need to have 1 milligram of copper with it. This is why oysters are so beautiful, because it has zinc and copper. Okay. Next thing, egg yolks. So egg yolks, many people think egg yolks are bad for you. They think egg whites are good for you, but I think quite the opposite. So egg whites are high in L-tryptophan. L-tryptophan is a precursor to serotonin, and serotonin is what makes you feel numb, lowers your dopamine levels, makes you feel robotic, so on and so forth. So you want to avoid egg yolks, right? But egg whites. And egg whites are high in albumin as well, which can be problematic for some individuals in the gut health, which can furthermore even indirectly boost your serotonin levels, because 95% of serotonin is produced in the gut. So if you irritate your gut from nutrition or even having crazy ab workouts, can spike your serotonin levels, which you do not want. But egg yolks are full with mineral, like vitamins, which boost testosterone, like I showed you before. But most importantly, it's high in cholesterol. A lot of people are considering to click off the video right now because you think cholesterol is the devil. I'm not going to go deep into it. Do your own research, but I can just tell you this. Saying cholesterol is bad for you is the equivalent of saying that firemen are bad for you because they're at the scene of the fire. But anyway, cholesterol. So cholesterol is a precursor to testosterone. If you do not have cholesterol, you will not have testosterone. You see, this is a pathway. It goes from cholesterol, pregnenolone, and testosterone. So if you consume cholesterol, you can produce testosterone. There's other things, but yeah. So cholesterol is important. And number 8 ties in to the previous point. So honey is a carbohydrate, it's glucose, fructose. If your diet isn't providing either glucose or the mixture of glucose and fructose, your liver can't activate the thyroid hormone as fully, so T3 and T4, which is your thyroid gland. If you're living on a high protein and fat diet, your liver will slow your whole body metabolism down, and that's just as effective as your thyroid gland has shut down. Your body needs carbohydrates so much. If you're not consuming carbohydrates, your body will take the protein that you consume and through a process called gluconeogenesis produce more carbohydrates. The whole ketogenic diet is built on this. They're like, make sure you're eating enough protein, but don't consume too much protein, because if you consume too much, it'll kick you out of ketosis. Why is that? Because your body yearns for carbohydrates. It's its octane fuel. I used to be keto, so I know a bit. And thyroid hormones are essential for your body to utilize cholesterol, like I mentioned before, and vitamin A, which I showed you before, properly into pregnenolone, which I showed you is the next step after cholesterol, those producing other protective hormones, testosterone. So first step is metabolic rate, carbohydrates. It's like the fire, speeds up the reactions for you to utilize cholesterol and vitamin A to produce testosterone. There's studies showcasing that just boosting your metabolic rate lowers your cholesterol levels because you're actually utilizing it, right? Think about it this way. Let's say you have a group of men cutting down trees. They cut it down, they put it in a pile. And you have other men which go by, they pick up the wood and they utilize it. If you have high cholesterol, you just have a lot of guys chopping down the trees, right? And you have all these trees piling up, but you don't have enough guys coming in and moving them forward. So glucose and carbohydrates is more of these guys who take the cholesterol, take the wood and utilize it. So then you can produce testosterone, right? So it's this steps, you know. But all these guys tell you, take this supplement or do this tactic. All these things won't do anything. You need to focus on the fundamentals. And it's quite simple once you understand it. I'm not going to go into a deeper tangent, but let's get into number 9. So number 9, same thing with this food. It doesn't directly boost testosterone, but it can improve your gut health, lower estrogen. So this is founded from Dr. Ray Peat explained. So when it comes to the carrot salad, sounds stupid. Okay. Improves digestive health, but the whys says that many people have problems with bacteria and fungus overgrowth in their intestine, right? Which can boost your serotonin, antitoxin production, brain fog, things like that. Becomes severe, okay? This poison, blah blah blah. Why does he recommend it? They're fibrous vegetables that grow underground. In order to protect themselves from the moist environment, carrots produce antibacterial and antifungal substances. It is these antimicrobial compounds of carrot fibers which help prevent bacteria and fungal overgrowth of the intestine. In addition, the fibers of raw carrots bind to toxins such as estrogen and endotoxins and carry them from the body through the digestive system. So you can read more about this, but this is very powerful to improve your gut health and thus testosterone. The number 10, gelatin. So gelatin is quite opposite to egg whites, which I mentioned before is high in L-tryptophan. So currently in our diets, everyone's consuming egg whites, chicken, all the white meat, We are getting too much of the amino acid tryptophan, which produces serotonin. But gelatin improves that, improves the balance. So once you balance out the neurotransmitters in your body, your sleep quality and the hormonal signaling will improve. This alone will lead to significant increase in testosterone and life quality. So I like using gelatin powder where I cook with meat or I make milk or whatever it is, because it gives you, it's a nicer amino acids, very relaxing, it's better for your body, for your skin, things like that, and your testosterone levels, and it balances out your neurotransmitters, thus improving your sleep and things like that. Number 11, we have coffee. So I made a video about coffee before, you can check it out. And I made an in-depth video about coffee. Coffee is a weird one. It can be problematic for some because coffee speeds up your metabolic rate. The chemical reactions in your body. If you're in a state of anxiety, it's just going to enhance that. But if you're in a state of, good health and things like that, it's going to improve that as well. It's going to improve your dopamine, so on and so forth. If you're hypoglycemic, it's going to mess with that. So make sure you're in a good state to consume coffee. Another thing, this was known to me by Hanzamoto, a very smart guy, intelligent individual. Shout out to him. He made a very good point consuming espressos, because if you have low thyroid hormones, you're hypometabolic. When you consume a lot of liquid, you're depleting your electrolytes. So your sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and that's going to mess with your thyroid hormones. So instead consume espressos, which is less liquid. So there you go. So then we have raisins. So raisins are high in testosterone boosting mineral boron. The thing about raisins, make sure there's no mold in it. That's the only thing. Make sure when you're buying raisins, you look at the ingredients. Is it with sunflower oils because they use it so it doesn't stick or whatever? I personally consume the Californian raisins, which are without any of that. There's no mold. And the thing with boron, make sure you consume B2. Like I said before about zinc and copper, boron depletes vitamin B2. So when you consume boron, consume B2. The number 13, we have cacao. So cacao powder is very rich in androgen boosting minerals such as magnesium, iron, manganese, copper, like I discussed before. The number 14, salt. So salt, good salt does not mess with a lot of people think it's going to boost your blood pressure. But the reason why initially salt boosts your blood pressure is because you're deficient in it. Think about it with money. When you don't have money for a long period of time, and when you make money, you're going to hold on to it. You're not going to spend it on luxuries because you're afraid something's going to happen again. So you're holding on to it. But after a while, when you know there's sufficient amount of coming in, okay, it's okay to spend it now. Same thing with salt and blood pressure. When you go from a period of time of not consuming any electrolytes, your body's going to hold on to it and it's going to boost your blood pressure. But your blood pressure gets spiked by many different things. If you consume a glass of water, that can spike your blood pressure. It's the context. Remember, context is very important. So electrolytes are important because they're on magnesium, sodium, potassium, calcium, which are important for your thyroid hormones. So calcium, then you have your glucose like honey, improves your thyroid hormones. Then you're consuming your minerals and vitamins and cholesterol. Then you're producing your other protective hormones, and boom, boom shakalaka, okay? The number 15, we have beef. So beef is very high in vitamins and minerals, and is low in L-tryptophan. I rather you consume beef rather than chicken, turkey, things like that, because beef is low in L-tryptophan and is higher in vitamins, minerals. Number 16, we have garlic. So there's a rat study where rodents on a high protein diet saw significant increases in testosterone and drops in cortisol after garlic supplementation. So you can check out the study here. The thing about garlic, and same thing with onion, it can be problematic for some individuals when it comes to the gut health. So keep an eye on those things because it can cause gastro issues. And then number 17, lastly, we have ginger, which has been shown to boost testosterone levels by 17%. There's a study here. And it lowers serotonin levels because it's an antagonist, and boosts dopamine. So it's very powerful, highly recommended. So that being said, this was the 17 foods to boost your testosterone levels. If you enjoyed the video, I would highly appreciate if you honestly give me a like, because it will benefit the channel, get the video out there to other people so it can benefit them. And that being said, if you want to join that free community, I'm going to leave a link down below. And that being said, have a good day and peace. God bless.